This week, the put was easy. The extrinsic value was gone, so I rolled it and kept the income moving. But the covered call required a decision. I had the opportunity to roll the strike up and chase more upside, but I didn't. I rolled straight out at my current strike and took the premium instead, because I'm not confident that the share price is going to stay elevated, and that premium is real money that I can use right now. In fact, this week that premium paid for another share. So instead of chasing capital gains that may or may not be there next week, I took the income, improved my position, and kept the strategy moving forward. With the price of NVDA up to beyond $200 this week, my aspirational roll order did not fill, and at this point could not be filled for a net credit. So I'm going to close out the order that I placed a week ago, where I was hoping to roll up from 190 to 195 for a credit. And at this point, I'm just going to roll my $190 call straight out 1 week for maximum income. I can expect about $70 for this roll. And since it didn't fill there, I'm going to lower my ask to 68. Oh, well, before I edited my order, it filled at $70. I could roll this $180 put, but I'm just going to leave it to expire and sell a new one. Earlier today, I had a really interesting conversation with Dan Passarelli, who's an author, trader, and a mentor to investors. He's also an expert on the Greeks, delta, theta, gamma, the things I've honestly never focused on much in my own trading. As we talked through these specific roles, I realized I'm already using the information those numbers represent. I just haven't been looking at the actual Greeks themselves. So for me, the takeaway was that the Greeks might be a shortcut, a way to analyze the same decisions a little faster or a little more precisely. We recorded that conversation, and I'll be putting together a separate video. If you've been curious about the Greeks, I think you'll get a lot out of it. I'll link it when it's ready, along with Dan's book. I'm choosing a new strike price of 190, and my decision is whether I sell a 7-day contract or a 14-day contract. It looks like if I sell a 7-day contract, I can bring in about $57, and a 14-day contract will bring me about $153. So this seems like the better choice. I'm going to ask for 154. And it filled right at 154. I brought in almost $224. So I'm going to use that income to add a share to the account. I'm leaving the $180 cash secured put to expire at the end of the day. I have a new covered call with a 7-day contract and a strike price of 190. I could sell the 100 shares today for $19,000, so I use that as the collateral value. So my 68.68 income gives me an annualized rate of return of 18.85%. This new 2-week cash secured put, also with a strike price of 190, brought me $153.34 for an annualized rate of return of 21.04% on the $19,000 that I'm using to secure it. And I use the income from these two trades to add one more share to the account with a little bit of cash left over. This brings my total out-of-pocket expense to $19,930.57, which I will divide by the 170 shares I now have in this position, bringing my adjusted cost per share down to $117.24. I haven't checked my profit and loss for a while, so let's go back and see what the net liquidating value of the entire position is. If I wanted to take this all back to cash today, I could close it out and receive $32,840. So if I sum my expense, and the net liquidating value of the current open positions. I have a current profit of $12,909, part of which is realized gain from the options premiums, and part of which is unrealized capital gains from the appreciation of the share price. This week, I didn't chase the upside. I took the premium available now over capital gains that may or may not be there next week. Right now, this feels like a bird in the hand market, so I'm taking a more cautious approach. That premium paid for another share, and I'll respond to whatever happens next week. That's how I keep the position moving over time.